Hello and welcome to my world. Well, this super long adventure through China and northern Japan is coming to a close. This is a travel day. We are all packed up and ready to go. Head on over to the airport here in Sapporo. So this is my last view of Sapporo before the taxi cab picks us up in about 45 minutes. Our flight doesn't leave until around 4 p.m. so we have a lot of time at the airport. We actually are early, amazingly. So maybe we've adjusted to how the Japanese tell time, how they're always early for everything. I don't know. Only took us forever to adjust to that a bit. But I'm sad to see Sapporo almost in the rearview mirror, but don't worry, we will be back to the land of the rising sun. Japan is the type of country that you can't resist, in my opinion. At least for me, I cannot resist coming back here. And here's one last look. Yeah, there's a pretty cool cement truck. One last look at our hotel right here. We were way up there on the 9th floor. And right down here on the first floor is a 7-Eleven, so that came in very handy throughout our stay here. Whenever we needed something quick to eat, either late at night, on our way back to the hotel, or first thing in the morning, we would pick up a lot of our breakfast stuff here. Of course, now I'm standing here filming and ready to go. Oh, there we go. An STI Lavorg pulls up. Pretty sweet. There we go. That may be the last cool car that I get to video here in Sapporo. Unless there's a lot of cool cars hanging out inside the airport terminal, which I'm not aware of. But sayonara to Sapporo, sayonara to Hokkaido soon. But today's a travel day, so I'm going to show you what the Sapporo airport looks like, because we're going to be spending a lot of time there in the terminal, so there's really nothing to do except show you what the terminal looks like. So I'm inviting you to join us on this adventure, and stay tuned for views of the Sapporo airport. Welcome back to the airport in Sapporo. This is where the Japanese portion of this adventure began. And now, unfortunately, this adventure is coming to a close. We haven't checked into our flight yet, because they haven't started check-ins yet for our flight. We don't leave until around 4:15, I think. So, we're once again flying on EVA Air, which is right here. And this will be, my filming here at this airport will be my last reports from the land of the rising sun. So, it's with a heavy heart that we are leaving here. But we do have a layover in Taipei again on the way back. So, the adventure's not over yet, but you can definitely tell it's winding down. But we'll be wandering around the airport here for a few hours, since we've got some time to kill before we gotta rush over and climb on the plane. I keep forgetting the name of this airport here in Sapporo, but it's called the new Chitose Airport, as it says on the sign there behind this little blue guy. My son and I are just camping out and burning through the rest of our cash on our Suica cards by using this vending machine right here. So a lot of the vending machines here take cash, credit cards, and also Suica cards if you hold up that little scanner right there. So this is what we do in Japan. I do this all the time. I just burn through all of the extra cash I have, just spare pocket change and stuff on the vending machines. But the vending machine selection here at Sapporo is nowhere near as good as it is at Haneda. Haneda Airport in Tokyo has a huge selection of vending machines, different kinds, ice cream machines and sandwich machines and stuff like that. The other airport in Tokyo. The one that most people use when they go to Tokyo Disneyland is Narita. And Narita does have lots of vending machines too, but nowhere near the selection and diversity that Haneda has. So my son and I are just camping out, and my wife is doing a little bit of last minute shopping here near the domestic terminal here. There's a lot of places you can shop at, buy some goodies for the flight home. And there's actually a large shopping area here. So here's our gate 67, and our plane doesn't leave until 4:15, but it's been delayed by half an hour, so 4:45 p.m. So you can see the time on the clock there. Definitely got some time to bum around and some time to kill. So here's our gate right here. Our plane is not here yet, so here's the door you walk through. There's the tunnel to go to the plane, and we can just kind of bum around a little bit here. One last chance to film in Sapporo and eventually in Japan. So we're headed to Taipei first. EVA Air is a Taiwanese airline, so Taipei is their hub. And we have a layover there for a couple hours, and then we are headed off to our final destination, which is the Bay Area, San Francisco, SFO. Headed back home. Land of the San Francisco 49ers, the Giants, and the Warriors. So I have not been keeping up with Bay Area sports news, so I'm anxious to head back and find out how the Giants are doing. I'm not sure. That kind of reminds me a little thing I forgot to mention about the internet in China. Yeah, the internet in China is guarded over, lorded over by this, what's known as the Great Firewall of China. So internet access in China, if you are from the US, flat out stinks. Every single social media website or app, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, you name it, it's blocked in China. If you try to access it in China, you will get a big red X on it, unless you have a VPN. Now, I don't know anything about VPNs. I've never used one, so I don't know how well they work or anything like that, so I can't answer any questions about that. But I do know that having a VPN is the only way that you can access just about any American social media website. So as an example, I remember a few years ago when I came to Shanghai, and Jay Leno's Garage website was blocked. I don't know why. In China, you don't question these kind of things that the government decides on. It's not like the US. You don't complain about it because it's not going to change anything. And so for some reason, I could not watch videos of Jay Leno's McLaren F1. Those were banned. This whole website was banned. So I don't know what the Chinese government doesn't like about Jay Leno's Garage, the website, and Jay Leno himself and his car collection, but for some reason, it's banned. I was shocked. So anyway, not too surprising if you've been to China before, but just that's a heads up. If you're going to China, get ready to be isolated from anything interesting on the internet, shall we say, okay? As you know, if you're, like I said, my channel is not political, but there's been a lot of US political events the past, since we've been gone here about 3.5 weeks. And, ooh, some Tomica cars. Check those out. And I did not know about any of them until I got to Japan. And in Japan, the internet everything is available in Japan. So you can access everything in Japan. That's not an issue there at all. But I didn't find out about any of the local news happening back home politically until I got to Japan and got checked into our hotel room. So just a little tip: be prepared to enjoy your freedom from the internet if you are going to China. Got quite an extensive selection of Tomica cars here at the airport. Yeah, once we reach SFO, I don't think I'll be able to see any Tomica cars for sale anywhere. I have seen a few of them in the US, but nowhere near the selection I see here in Japan or in China too. They do sell them in China. So one thing I found interesting is these, look at this is interesting, a Lamborghini collection. A lot of Lamborghinis on it. That's cool. Evidently they have this one here too. It's got several different cars in it. Civic Type R, Super X. It's interesting. Oh, okay, it looks like we're at the end. Oh, this guy's wearing a Giants jersey. I wonder if that's a San Francisco Giants or a Yomiuri Giants. Here in Japan, don't know. Let me see. I think it's a Yomiuri Giants. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's a Yomiuri Giants jersey, so same colors. But anyway, so this is the airport terminal where we're going to be spending a few hours here. About an hour and a half here while we're waiting. So next stop will be Taipei, Taiwan. See you over in Taiwan. One thing I find interesting is that on this side of, once you go through security, the vending machines, the drinks are a little bit more expensive. Like maybe about 20, 30, maybe 40 yen more compared to before you go through security here. So if you're here at Sapporo flying out, buy your drinks before you go through security if you want to save a little bit of money. I bought this pen in the souvenir shop here, and I saw it in a souvenir shop in Rusutsu, and I kind of thought about getting it, but I passed on it. But they had it here at one of the souvenir shops here at the Sapporo Airport, and yep, you can guess what that is on top of there. It is what it looks like it is. And there's a little button here, you push it, and watch what happens. Hello, look what's in there. Hello. Hello. Yep. It's a poopy pen. Couldn't resist. Okay, before I leave, I just had to film the Hokkaido food hall here. And they have the displays of food here. I don't have too much time to film this because we're going to hop on the plane pretty soon. But this is something that we haven't seen too much of on this adventure through Japan, are the displays of food. I know other times I've been to Japan, other parts of Japan, all the restaurants had these nice displays of food here. But at least on this adventure, they've been showing more like this. Big posters of the food instead of the actual models. And that's not the real food, by the way. In case you're wondering, no, that's not the real food that's sitting out there. There's just plastic models of the food. But they're pretty accurate. I've never eaten at a restaurant here in Japan where the plastic models represented something that was not what I actually received. Oh, last chance to eat some Japanese food here in Japan before we go. But I don't know if we'll have time to eat anything before we go. So here's a sushi bar over here. And that was the Hokkaido Food Hall. Oh, ready to head over to gate 67 now. And hop on that big bird and head over to Taipei. Seems like I'm always getting routed through Taipei. Oh, here's the Hokkaido food hall again, right there. So these are my last moments in the land of the rising sun, and as I also added, land of the cleanest booties. I will miss the Japanese booty washing toilets very much. Every time I leave Japan, just makes me want to stay longer. You can never spend enough time in this country, in my opinion. So everybody's hanging out in front of the gate, even though it's been delayed. So I know I've said this a couple times before, but there's the clock. That's the current time. And our flight was delayed till 4:45. So just gonna sit here for a little while longer. But I've said this before, and I think this is actually true. I'm gonna put the camera away, and next time I turn on the camera, we will be in Taipei, Taiwan for our layover. So sayonara to Hokkaido and Sapporo, but we will be back. Absolutely. That I promise. We will be back to the land of the rising sun. I don't know when, but we will be back. Okay, before we go, I do have one last thing to say, and that is, if you are from Japan, if you're a Japanese citizen watching this at home, please, thank you so much. You should feel so proud of your country and your country's citizens, because they have all been nothing but gracious, polite, and welcoming to us here throughout our entire time here in Japan. So from the bottom of my heart and my entire family, thank you so much for being such gracious hosts in your country. And we will be back because of how nice people treat us here. And we tell them we're from California, and they've been nothing but gracious, and they're always curious about what we're doing here, what we're going to see, what we're going to do. And everybody here has been so welcoming and so polite, and because of that, we are going to be back. That I promise. So if you're from Japan, you should be very proud of your country and your people. Thank you so much. With just my luck, as soon as I take my camera out, I don't see any of them, but there was about 8 or 10 F-15 Eagles taking off from here in a row, and they were not loaded up with any ordnance or anything. I don't know if they're just doing training flights. I'm not sure, but they're taking off from this runway right here. And unfortunately, I don't see one. But the interesting thing is that I said 8 or 10 of them took off in a row, and pretty loud. Okay, here comes one right here. This one's coming in for a landing. You see it right there? So the interesting thing is that, so these things took out. Obviously, it doesn't sound like a standard commercial airline jet. And notice the reaction of the people here in the terminal. Nobody's paying any attention to it whatsoever. It's like I'm the only one who's like, wait a minute. There's warplanes taking off from a commercial airport here. This is not a military base, as far as I know. And I seem to be the only one that's like amazed by this, a little bit floored. I mean, back home at LAX or SFO, if this sort of thing happened, I mean, the terminal would come to a standstill. Because, you know, this is not a military base, or those are not military bases, so the sound of fighter jets taking off is not common. But here, I don't know. Maybe it's common here. Nobody seems to be doing anything about it, so, oh well. And just like that, after about a 3.5 hour flight, welcome to Taipei, Taiwan. Seems like we were just here, because we were just here. So, after getting off of that plane, which we rode in coach, so you're kind of crammed in there like sardines, and after exiting the plane, I have to admit that I am looking forward to returning back to the Bay Area, back to the good old USA. For one main reason, we Americans love our space. We like elbow room. We're big people. We need elbow room. And we like to have space between our bodies and other strangers' bodies. After getting off of that plane, it just reminded me I love my space. I'm getting a little frustrated, fed up, tired, however you want to word it, of strangers touching me. And I mentioned this before when I was in China. It starts to get on my nerves, and I kind of reached the boiling point regarding that. And I'm kind of at that point right now. And getting off of that plane was a reminder of that. It's like, if you're a fellow coach flyer, if the dividing curtain between first class and coach has not been opened yet by the flight attendants, there's no point in pushing and shoving and cramming the aisle, crowding the aisle, and pushing forward. You're not going anywhere because the exit door is blocked. So all you're doing is just causing uncomfortable contact with other tired people at the end of a flight. So please, don't do that. There's no point in doing that. You're not getting off any faster. It's just like getting on the plane. The gate isn't open yet. Don't be a gate lice and cram up there when your section is not called yet. You're not getting on the plane any faster. There's no point in doing that. So anyways, some folks were doing that on the exit of this plane. And it's just, I get it. It's a culture thing. And we Americans just don't like doing that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm at that point where, yeah, I'm kind of ready to get back to my space, my comfort zone, my elbow room. I miss elbow room, and I miss not coming into contact with a stranger's body. I really do miss that. So, and I welcome that again. So anyways, welcome to Taiwan. We got a ways to go. It's about 7:47 p.m. local time. Our flight doesn't leave until a little after 11 p.m. So we got a ways to go here. So this should look familiar to you if you've been watching my videos of this adventure from the beginning. This is where we started. So this should look very familiar. And here is this waterfall. Thank you. This is this waterfall sculpture again, right here, that lights up. And we're going to be going up where the restaurants are. Like I said, it seems like this is very familiar because we were just here. So this is where all the restaurants are. And may get something to eat, I don't know. This is where the McDonald's is. Over here. Yep, this is where we were sitting. Right at that table right over there. And we also came through this airport because we stayed in Taiwan for a few days after our trip to Shanghai last year. So we've been through this airport quite a bit over the last couple of years. So here's the other side of the restaurant area, the food court. And I don't know if anything's changed since the last time we were here. I don't think so. One of these days I gotta try this burger joint right here, this Moss Burger. Just to see what a Taiwanese hamburger is like. I already tried a Japanese burger on this adventure, so why not try a Taiwanese one? Got a fried shrimp burger there. Looks interesting. Huh. Not sure what they have here. I am really not hungry. I ate on the plane, so my son says he could eat, so that's why he's getting something over on the other side. But these balloon things, hot air balloons, are cool. So let me go see what my son is going to order. So I'm just stretching my legs a little bit here in front of our gate before we board on the plane for about a 10, maybe 11-hour flight back to San Francisco. SFO, so. The city by the bay. So, let's see, we're at gate C6, which is over this way, actually. Good to be going home. I do admit that I wouldn't say I'm getting homesick, but I do miss the Bay Area. It's a strange place, and I like it weird. I like weird places, because I'm a weird kind of guy, so I am a Bay Area guy. Every time I leave home for these long trips, I'm always reminded I am a Bay Area guy. Born there, raised there, I'll probably die there. So here's our gate right here. C6 to good old San Francisco. So I believe we are on time, no delays. Oh, there we go. As soon as I zoom out, then it goes. It says San Francisco. That's us right there. So, last chance to film a little bit here in Taipei before I go sit there for way too long on a plane. In coach. Yippee yippee. So I guess I'll go sit over there and just get ready for the flight. Next time I turn my camera back on, we will be in the Bay Area, in San Francisco. So I can catch up and see how the Giants are doing. I'm not really sure what's been going on. So here's gate C6, and I think they're loading the priority folks right now, which is not us, of course. We are the cattle. So pretty soon you see all the gate lice cramming in over here. It's just a matter of time. So we are finally back home in the Bay Area. We're waiting at the baggage carousel to pick up our stuff. And it's good to be back home in the city by the bay. And also the wonderful, no humidity weather. Felt really good getting off the plane. So it's good to be back. I didn't sleep. Slept a little bit on the plane. I couldn't get a good, really deep sleep because I had some guy's knees in my back throughout pretty much the whole flight. And if you're riding in coach, please do not have your knees touch the backrest in front of you, because I guarantee you the guy sitting in that seat in front of you will feel it, and it does not feel good. Ask me how I know. So I experienced that once before on my flight to Paris, and when the flight was over and the plane landed, I was shocked to see that the lady that was sitting behind me doing that was about 5 feet tall. So please don't do that. It doesn't make the flight better for the person seated in front of you. I did not get a chance, I didn't watch any movies or any TV shows, but I did listen to, once again, Highway to Hell by AC/DC, the whole album. And I also listened to 72 Seasons, the whole album by Metallica. So kudos to Eva Air for having cool music available to listen to. So let's see if our stuff showed up yet. I'm gonna go over here by the baggage carousel. I don't think so, but you never know. Sometimes my suitcase has been literally the last one off the plane. Okay, oh, there's the stuff coming out right now, So we're right back where we started. We're back at SFO, the city by the bay. So it's great to be home. I miss the Bay Area weather, no doubt about it. It's nice and cool outside, but I'm really looking forward to catching up on 49ers news, catch up on Niners news, see how the Giants are doing. I've been kind of living in a vacuum while we were gone with very limited internet access, especially in China. So it's good to be back home. There are some things I did miss, some things I don't miss. Also, major kudos to Eva Air for letting me finish my meal. Eva so far is the only airline I've ever flown with where they give you time to finish your meal. And oh, here's something we haven't seen in a long time, a Starbucks. What are the odds of seeing a Starbucks, right? But they actually gave you enough time to finish your meal. One thing I hate about American airlines, whenever I fly them, they give you only like 10 minutes to eat your meal. So anyways, Ava gave me plenty of time to finish eating and I didn't have to inhale everything. So, looks like our driver is almost here. So here's the crowd of people waiting, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me and my family on this adventure, and I hope you had a great time. I sure did. And time to go home and deal with jet lag. So hope you enjoyed this adventure, and I'll catch you in the next video.